Okay, so yeah, we have started the recording now. Let me give a quick recap, guys. Okay, so the first thing that we have discussed is basically the structure of an Android application. What structure is basically, so in previous session we have seen what reverse engineering is, right? How we could basically get the source code and other folders of an application. So this was the application that I have shown you in the previous session, ovapps.apk. So we decompiled this application with the help of APK tool, right? So after that, what we have done, we have simply gone to this folder that we got after decompiling. So now after decompiling that application, you could see we are having a lot of folders, right? We are having build, original, resources, smelly. So this is the structure of an Android application. After decompiling an application, we will get this type of folders. So I am explaining a overview. Like mostly there are 7 types of or 6 type of folders. Okay, and in different application we have different folders, right? For example, in this application there is no folder name as gen, right? There could be a folder name as gen. Right now we are not seeing this gen folder, right? But there could be a folder name as gen, right? It depends on the application. Okay, so I'm discussing this right now. So we have discussed what lib is. These are basically the libraries which are used by the application. Okay, these are the private libraries. The second one is basically resources. So if you will go to this folder resources, and you will see we are having a lot of things. We are having layout. Okay, we are having layout. Then we are having themes. We are having images. Where is the image? We are having the images. So basically this specific folder will contain all the graphics, animation, okay, text, not test, okay, text, pictures, and XML file. Okay, so this is the resources. Now the next thing is metinf. This metinf stands for, basically this is we could simply say this is a directory which is containing all the digital certificate related to the application. So like we will be seeing today what application signing is, how to sign a certificate, okay, to an application. So we'll be seeing that. So every application is having a certificate. Okay, if that application is not having that certificate, that application cannot be trusted by Google Play Store. So if you want to make your app trusted by Google Play Store, you should have a we could say a certificate. You should do certificate signing. Okay, so all the certificate which is related to that application is in this specific folder. For example, I am having this app. This is my application asap.apk. Now this application is having certificates, right? This application is having few certificates. Now all these certificates are inside this metinf folder. Am I clear, guys? So this metinf folder is basically the folder where all the digital certificate are. Okay, so this folder contains all the digital certificate related to the application. Okay, now the some students have a doubt. So for example, if this application is having this metinf folder, so this folder will only have the certificate of this application asif.apk. It will not have certificate of any other app. Am I clear, guys? So this application certificate will be only in this specific folder. So this is what metinf is. Okay, now the next thing is fourth thing is basically, let me give the numbering also so you could get it. The number one was this, the number second is this one, number third one, and number fourth one. Now the next thing is smelly. Smelly is basically, you could see, let us go back. So you could see there is a folder name as smelly. So every application will have this smelly because this is basically the machine instructions. We have discussed what machine instructions are. Okay, so basically this machine instructions are understood by our Dalvik virtual machine. I have told you what Dalvik virtual machine is, right? So all this machine instructions are understood by our Dalvik virtual machine. Okay, so can we spoof certificate by any chance? No. We are basically signing an application with the certificate, so you could not spoof any certificate, right? Because developer is basically making that thing. Okay, so yeah. Now the next thing is basically smelly. So I have told you that this is the machine. It is the machine instructions. Okay, and this machine instructions are understood by the the Delvic virtual machine. Okay, so this is smelly. Okay, the next thing is the fifth number we could say is basically gen. Okay, gen. So now from GEN we could simply get this stand for journaler. Okay, so this is journal. So I cannot see too. The folder you are guiding, I cannot see in my appy folder, sir. OApps, guys. So the thing is that I have placed this application in my appy folder. By default, you will be not having this in your this folder. So what you have to do, you simply have to download this OApps application. I have sent this application in the group, right? From there, you have to copy that app into your appy folder. Okay. Then what you have to do, you have to open your appy. First of all, you have to open your appy. Okay, so let me open my appy, and you have to check in which directory you are right now. You have to check if you are in this specific path or not. Okay, so let me open my appy, and you can see I have to type ls. If I After typing ls, you could see I'm in this folder only because I'm able to see all the applications and all the folders that are in this specific folder. So first of all, you have to verify this. After that, what you have to do, you have to use this apk tool command, right, for decompiling, and then the application name. Then you will be seeing this folder. Am I clear? Yeah, for example, let me do one more time. Okay, let me remove this OApps. Okay, I'm removing this in front of you. Now what I'm doing, I'm typing OApps. Okay, I'm typing OApps.apk. As soon as I will type this command, what will happen, a new folder will be created with the name of this OApps. I have explained everything in the previous session, guys, so if you have not seen that, it is recommended to see that. Okay, so now you could see after this command we are having this folder. So after doing the reverse engineering, we are able to see this folder. Now this folder is having different files, right? No problem, Sadiq. Even if it is on the desktop, here I'm not explaining how to decompile. Okay, I'm here explaining what the structure of an application. After decompiling, what folders we will be having. Am I clear? Okay. So let us move. Okay. So what we were seeing is that, yeah, now journal. So basically, it contains all the journal libraries, okay, which are used by the application. First of all, it was the private libraries. Now the second one is basically the journal libraries. Okay, these are the journal libraries which are used by the application. Okay, sorry. This folder contains the general libraries. Guys, I will recommend you guys to basically see the previous sessions. It is very important to see that session, else you will be not able to complete the what you could say the project, and then you will message us. So it is very so it is required for you guys to watch the previous sessions. Okay, so this folder contains the general libraries which are used by the application. Okay, the next thing is the last one is src. Okay, now guys, see one thing, not every application will have all these six folders, right? In our case, let us just take this scenario of apps. We are not having all the six folders, right? So I have told you different application will have different folders. Okay, so most of the application will have this resources and smelly. Okay, so most of the application will have this resources and smelly. Okay, so this is the thing. Now the src. Okay, what this src is, it is basically, it contains, sorry, why my caps is working, it contains the java source code. So this folder src is containing the java source code, okay, of that application. So this is basically the structure of an application, which is very, we could say this is important to know, because when we are testing an application, we should know where to look for vulnerabilities and when where to look for weaknesses. Okay, so this is the thing. Now the next thing is also important, manifest analysis. Okay, before that, let me explain what a manifest is. So let me just show you what a manifest is. So after decompiling an application, this manifest, you could see Android manifest.xml file. This XML file will be in every application. You could see this. This is the XML file. So this Android manifest will be in every application. If you are decompiling an application, it is 100% that that application will have this Android manifest. So every application will have this Android manifest. So let me open this. Okay, so this is the Android manifest. Let me just remove this. Okay, so this is the Android manifest. Now let us see what this Android manifest is. Okay, so first of all, before going to the manifest analysis, we have to understand what Android manifest is. Okay. So this is the file name, Android manifest.xml. If you will come back, you could see this is the file name. Okay, because the extension is XML, if you could see. Right. So this is the file name. And every file name will be same. This Android manifest.xml name will be same in every application. Now let us see what this is. So it is basically the main project file. So when we are making an application, there is a main project file, okay, which is containing all the Android application. Basically, it is containing all the properties, requirements, components, permissions. So this specific folder, this specific file is containing all the properties, requirements, permissions, components which are required by the application to run. So basically, this file is containing, we could say, guideline, requirements, properties, some rules which are required by the application. Okay, so this is the Android manifest. Now we could see this is the Android manifest. Okay, now how we could find vulnerabilities with this Android manifest. And if we will see one more thing, guys, we could see the package name, right? I have told you what a package name is. So in this manifest file also, we could see the package name. Every manifest will have the package name of that application. So if you will come and you will search this package, so you could see this package name, right? So this is the package name of that OWASP application. You could see, right? org OWASP.go droid 4 hoods, right? So this is the application. This is the package name for that application. Am I clear, guys? So every application will have this Android manifest and that will have this package. Now, what we have to see in this Android manifest is basically we have to focus on few things. Okay, we have to focus on few things. Very important, guys. Just focus. So we have to focus on few things. Okay. We could say focus on few what we could say focus on few scenarios. No, let me type things to be focused. Okay, in Android manifest. Okay, fine. So things we have to focus on our Android manifest file. So first of all, what we have to see, the package name. I have told you how we could see the package name in that manifest file, right? So first of all, we have to see this package name. Okay, the first thing that we have to focus on. The second thing is basically we have to focus on the permissions. Okay, so let us go back and we could see here we are having few permissions. Okay, permissions. I could see we have to focus when we are testing an application. We have to check the permissions which are given to the application, because this permissions can lead to some serious vulnerabilities. In upcoming session, we will be seeing this. Okay, so let us go back to some other application CV and let us see. So you could see we are having few permissions, right? Now this read external storage and write external storage is very bad for a application to have. So this is a vulnerability, right? This is a vulnerability. Okay, so this is a thing that we have to see when we are basically seeing this Android manifest. Okay, am I clear, guys? Okay, so let me copy this and let me go back. Guys, any doubt, let me know. So that is, yeah, sorry guys, spelling mistake, ignore that. Okay, so things we have to focus on: package name, permission. Third thing is basically where is the file not able to see. When you decompile the application, you have to go to that application folder, then you could see this Android manifest file. Okay, guys, so there you could see this manifest file. Okay, the next thing is basically flags. Okay, now in flags, what you could see basically, when you are going to an application, you have to basically see for two specific things, right? First of all, what you have to see, we have to see if this backup is true. Okay, just a minute. Backup. Okay, so the things that we have to see is if this Android allow backup is true, this is a vulnerability. We will be exploiting this. Okay, in upcoming session, we'll be exploiting this Android backup true. Okay, and I will be explaining this in detail. Don't worry right now. Just see what I'm telling, what we have to see in manifest. Okay, so flags, we have to see two specific flags. Okay. Oh, So we have to basically see two flags. First one is backup. Okay, if this flag is true, then this is vulnerable. We could exploit this, right? If this is false, if this is set to false, we could not exploit. But if this is true, we could exploit it, right? So how we could see if this is true or not? We could simply search for backup. If this backup is true, then we could say that this application is vulnerable to backup. Okay, so we will be seeing this practical if this backup is true. The next thing that we have to see is basically the second flag, which is debug. If this debug is allowed, if this debug is true, this is also a vulnerability. This is a low severity vulnerability, but yeah, this is a vulnerability. We will be understanding this. We'll be seeing the practical also, so don't worry. Okay, so this is the second flag that we have to see. So the first thing was basically the package name that we have to see. The second thing is basically the permission. The third thing is flags. We have two flags that we have to see: Android backup and Android debug. Okay, if these flags are set to true, if flags are set to true, they are vulnerable. Okay, so if these flags are set to true, they are vulnerable. I'm clear, guys. So we have to see if the flag is true or not. If it is not true, that's great, not a problem. But if that is true, we have to see. Okay, and we have to okay, so we have to see this thing. Now the next thing that we have to see is basically components. So the fourth thing that we have to see is components. I have explained that this manifest file is having components also. So what we have to do, go back to your manifest file and search for components. Okay, guys, one more thing. In this basically in this training, we'll be not completing that component part because that is very lengthy and we are not having that much time. Okay, so I will be not discussing this in depth. Okay, so we are having this component. Okay, let us see in this specific folder. Component, this is also not having components. Let me check some other application. Let me check. Okay, now if you could see in this application, we are having this component, right? So if this component file, just let me see one thing. Okay, if this component is also given true, if these components are also true, okay, so if these components are also true, this is also a vulnerability. But yeah, we will be not covering this. We'll be not covering the component part. Okay, the next thing that we could see in manifest is if there is any API key leaked. Okay, sometimes what happens, a developer might leave API key in this specific file, in this manifest file. So we simply have to search for API term, and if we are able to get this API key anywhere, so that is a vulnerability. We could exploit that specific API key. Okay, so we have to search for API key if this manifest file is having an API key or not. Okay, so the fourth thing is basically the API key, or we could say that hard coded information. Okay, so we have to search for these specific things. So these are the things that we have to focus on. Okay, the first one is basically, let me just V5. Okay, so the first thing is basically the package name, then permission, then we have flags, two type of flags if they are true. Okay, so that is a vulnerability. We will be exploiting this flag part. Then we have components. We'll be not seeing this component part. Okay, but if this component part is also true, this is also a vulnerability. The next thing is API keys and hard coded. If basically in this manifest file we are able to see this API key anywhere, we are able to see this API key. So that is also a vulnerability that we could exploit with the help of key hacks. So you could simply use key hacks. Okay, sorry, key tool. Yeah, key tool. Yeah, key hacks. Key tool. Okay, you could use key tool. No, key tool. Key hacks. I think key hacks. Yeah, you could use key hacks to exploit API keys. Okay, so you could use this. Okay, to exploit. For example, if you find you could find a Firebase API key, you could simply click on Firebase and you could exploit this. Okay, so this is how we could simply see these things. So we have to focus on these 5 things. There are a lot of things in manifest, but yeah, These are five main things that we have to focus on our manifest file. Okay, guys. So this is what we have to see in our manifest. Now, the next thing that we are going to understand is basically the app signing. So, uh, I was telling about app signing, right? So, what app signing is? Let me first of all type this app signing. Okay. So, app signing is very important topic. Okay. So, app signing. Okay. SIGININ. Okay. Okay. So app signing. So basically, what app signing is, first of all, what certificate is? Certificate are basically required by the application to be trustful. Okay, so if you need an application, Android application to be trustworthy. Okay, so we need a digital certificate. Every application is having a digital certificate. Okay, so app signing is basically the digital certificates. Okay, digital certificates. Okay, or we could say public key signing is also there. Okay, so basically app signing is also known as digital certificate signing or public key signing. Okay, if someone will say what app signing is, so or what is the name of app signing, another name of app signing, you simply say that digital certificate signing or public key signing. Am I clear, guys? Am I clear? Okay, so this is app signing. Okay, so digital certificate signing or public key signing is the same name for app signing. Okay, now what app signing is basically, let me explain. So when I'm making an application, I'm a developer. Okay, I'm the developer. Okay, and my name is Asif. I'm the developer. Now I'm making an application name as let me say Apple. Apple.apk. This is the application that I'm making. So I'm a developer. Asif is a developer. He's making an application Apple.apk. Once I have made this application, I have made the application, I have compiled everything, the app is ready to work. But the last thing that I have to do to make this application trustworthy to the Android device as well as to the Google Play Store is that what we have to do, we have to sign. We have to sign with a certificate. We have to sign this specific application with a certificate. Okay. We have to give a certificate to this application. So this process is known as app signing. So what happens? Developer signs their application with the digital certificate so that their Android we could say app can identify and deploy it. Okay, from any, like they could be basically installed in any Android app, and the Android device should know that this application is coming from a genuine source. Okay, and the Google Play Store also improves that trust between them and the application. Okay, so it is very important to use this signing method. Okay, basically because it is helping us to make our application more, we could say, trustworthy to Google Play Store, and also that application is making the device that we are using in more trustworthy. For example, if I'm using in my phone OnePlus, so what will happen? The application will trust the device will trust the application which is having a certificate, not the application which is not having a certificate, right? So we have to see that thing. Okay, and encryption standard is used in signing that application. So when we are signing that application, basically the encryption standard is used for signing that application. Okay, now for app signing we have different schemes. Okay, for app signing, so we have a lot of different schemes for app signing. Okay, we have different schemes for app signing. So schemes are basically version, we could simply say different signing version. So we have V1 version, we have V2 version, we have V3 version. Okay, so V1 signing. Okay, V1 signing, V2. Sorry, SIG. Actually, the keyboard is making a lot of misspellings. Leave for that. Okay, so V2, V3 schemes. Okay, so we're having three different types of schemes. Okay, V1, V2, and V3. There is V4 also. Okay, but yeah. Okay, now the first thing is basically the V1 signing schemes. Okay, Ajay, basically I'm not using a keyboard. Okay, I'm traveling, so I'm basically using my laptop keyboard. So I don't have that habit of typing in my laptop keyboard, right? That is the issue. It is having a lot of mistyping. So the V1 signing scheme, we are having V2 signing scheme, and the last one is V3 signing scheme. We also have V4. Okay, but we'll be not seeing that v4, we will be only seeing till this v3 signing. Okay, so the v1 signing scheme is basically the one which is having a vulnerability. Okay, so this is basically the previous version of Android signing method that we were using, and this has few vulnerabilities. So this app signing method is having few vulnerabilities, and we do not use this anymore. We don't use this anymore. Okay, we are not using this v1 signing scheme anymore. Okay, the second thing is basically v2 signing scheme. The second v2 signing scheme is basically it was used till Android 7. Can anyone tell me what is the name of Android 7, guys? Anyone? What is the name of Android 7? Nugget. Sorry, it is not Nugget. Okay, Nougat. Yeah. Okay, so it is Nougat. Okay, so we were using v2 signing scheme till version 7, Android version 7. Okay, now v3 is used after Android version 9. Okay, we are using after Android 9 version 9. Okay, so we are using till now also. Now there is one more scheme which is known as v4, but yeah, we'll be not discussing that because that is not widely used till now. So v3 is widely used, and it is recommended to use v3 signing when we are signing an application, right? So now we could simply sign an application with we could simply sign manually or automatically, or sorry, automated method. So we have two methods for signing an application. First is basically manual. Okay, so first is manual, where we use key tool, we use jar signer. Okay, we use jar signer. So these things we use when we are doing manual thing. Okay, but when we are doing automated certificate signing, we use a tool name as Uber app signer. Okay, so we'll be using this automated way. We'll be not seeing the manual way because it is a very hectic thing. Okay, and we will be not be able to sign v2 or v3 version with this. So we'll be seeing automated one with the help of this Uber APK signer. So simply you could go to this URL. I will be giving this URL. You could download this. Okay, you could download this and you could use this. I will be sharing this in basically the WhatsApp group also. Okay, so this is the thing that we'll be using. Okay, Uber app signer. So what I will be doing, simply I will be going to my apply folder. Now I have already I'm already having this apply, this Uber signer. Okay, but in your case what you have to do, you have to download it, then you have to copy this specific Uber signer into your, what you could say, into your this appy folder. Okay, or even if you don't want, you could use anywhere, but yeah, for a beginner it is very easy to use. So what you could do, you could simply copy in this appy folder, right? I'm having this Uber signer. Okay, now what we have to do, simply we have to open command prompt. Open the command prompt. Now the command for this certificate signing is very easy, guys. Okay, the manual way is the easiest, sorry, the automated way is the easiest way. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to download this. Once we have downloaded this, what we have to do, we have to open our command prompt, open cmd, open cmd. After opening cmd, what we have to do, we have to simply type this command. Okay, the command is java. Okay, for this we need Java. Okay, so you should have Java version, any version after version 8. So you should have Java JDK, any version after version 8. Okay, so you should have version 9, 10, 11, 12. Any one will work. Okay, even the latest one will work. So the command is Java jar. Then you have to give the Uber app signer jar file name. Okay, which I was having here. You could see, right, this is the uh, Uber app signer. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to give this name plus the version, whatever version it is. Then I have to give .jar extension because it is a jar file. Okay, so this is what I have to type. After this, what I have to do, I have to type APK. Okay, then I have to give the application name that I want to sign. So in our scenario, we'll be signing this application. So this CV application is already signed. Okay, but yeah, we'll be signing this. So let us see what we have to do. First of all, we have to see the name of the Uber signer. Okay, so this is the name, right? So let me copy this. Now what I have to do, I have to type the command which is Java jar. Then we have to copy the Uber app signer. Okay, and you have to paste it. Now what do we have to do? We have to simply type APK, then the app name that we want to sign. So for example, we want to sign this CV app, right? So I want to sign this CV app. Okay, so what will happen, guys, now it will tell me that this application is already signed because this is already signed. But in your scenario, if you will be decompiling an application, then you will be compiling it back. Okay, so in that scenario, it will be not having the certificate. Okay, so once we decompile an application, the certificate is lost. So we have to sign the application again. So let me just press enter. Now you could see it is already saying that application is already signed, right? So it has skipped it. But in your scenario, not so basically the application is will be not signed. Okay, so you have to first of all decompiling. You have to decompile the application with APK tool. Then you have to build it. You could see the previous session. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to sign that application with this Uber signer. Am I clear, everyone? Okay. Am I clear, guys? So this is how we have to sign the application. Okay. There is no benefits of manual signing or will make us, basically it will help us. Okay. If we are using the manual way, what will happen? It will take more time. If we are doing automated way, it will take less time. Nothing else. Just the time difference. Okay. The next thing is basically code obfuscation. Okay. Now, yeah, the automated way is very easy, but the manual way is hectic. Now, the next thing is code obfuscation. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what code obfuscation is? Anyone? Guys, what is code obfuscation? Let me give you mic permissions. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
The code application means protecting the code from being stolen.
Okay. Anyone else? Guys, go ahead. Don't worry. Anyone? Okay. So basically, code obfuscation, when you present the code, different phrasing. Okay, okay. So basically, in simple language, code obfuscation is a added layer of security that we are giving to an application. Okay. So if we are giving this code obfuscation to an application, what will happen? If we will decompile the application and if we want to see the source code that we were seeing with the help of JDGUI, right? We were seeing the source code with the help of JDGUI and Dex2Jar. We could not see that. Okay, so let me just tell you. So what we have to do, first of all, let me go back and let me show you one thing. So Android PT Dex to your. So yeah, in previous session what we have seen, how we could get the source code. So first of all, we use Dex2Jar, right? After using Dex2Jar, we will be having this executable jar file. Now this jar file, what we do, we open with JDGUI, right? We open this file with JDGUI. Now what we, guys, am I audible? Yeah, by mistake I left the meeting. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so what we were doing after this, we were seeing the source code with the help of this uh, JDGUI, right? And we are able to see the source code because this application is not having code obfuscation. So if our application is not having code obfuscation, what will happen? We can see the source code of that application and we could manipulate it, right? So if an application is not using code obfuscation, what will happen? We could see the source code. But if application is using code obfuscation, which is a technique, or we could say added layer of security given to an Android application where we could not see the source code of that application. Basically, the source code will be in not human readable format. So let me give you an example. So right now you could see this is the real code, right? But after code obfuscation, we are getting this code. So this is what code obfuscation is. This code is not in human readable format, right? You could see this one, right, guys? So this is code obfuscation. Okay, I'll add a layer of security given to our Android application, so no one can see the source code. Okay, let me write it down. So it is a technique, or we could say a added layer of security given to Android app where attacker cannot understand the code. Okay, so he couldn't understand the code flow, or we could say the code is not in human readable format. Okay, so this is what code obfuscation is. Okay, where, so let me just give the size 18. Okay, so this is what code obfuscation is. It is a technique, or we could say add a layer of security given to Android app where the attacker cannot understand the code flow, or the code is not in human readable format. Okay, why to the obfuscate? So the main reason for code obfuscation is that it will make the application secure. Okay, so the first thing is that it will make the app, we could say, secure. Okay, and the second thing is they basically it will make the app fast. So these are basically the two things that we do in this will code obfuscation will do. So benefit of code obfuscation is basically it will make the application secure. Second thing is basically it will make the application fast. Okay, so all the methods. Okay, so what thing will happen in code obfuscation is basically, let me go deep, all the methods. Okay, if you know programming language, you will know what methods are, what variables are. Okay, what functions are. Okay, so what will happen, all these functions, okay, all the functions, functions, so okay, so all the methods, variables, functions are basically modified or removed. Okay, so this is what happening in this code obfuscation, and the reason we are using this code obfuscation is basically it is basically enhancing the overall performance of the application. Okay, and it is protecting it from an intruder. So that is the thing that we are doing. Okay, am I clear, guys? So now we have few tools. So you could use tools to obfuscate. So if you're a developer, what tools you could use? The first tool is basically ProGuard. You could use this tool if you want to make your application secure. If you want to apply code obfuscation, you could use this tool, ProGuard or DexGuard. So this ProGuard is free. This is a free tool, and this is a paid tool. So if you're a developer, you could use anyone. Okay. If you're not a developer, leave this part. So these are the things. If you want to apply code obfuscation, you could use this. Am I clear, guys? Is there any way to de-obfuscate the code? No, Ajay, there is no way to de-obfuscate the code. That is the main thing for this code obfuscation. If you're applying the code obfuscation, no one can see the code. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, Ajay, so basically if I'm making that application, so if I'm making this application asif.apk, so what I will be doing when I am basically obfuscating this. So I am obfuscating it, right? So I have a key, or the tool that I'm using, I have the access of that tool. So with the help of that tool, we could simply unobfuscate that. Okay. So basically only the one who has obfuscated that code can unobfuscate that. No one else can obfuscate. For example, if I have used code obfuscation, just a minute, guys, I will be back.
So please unmute your mic.
Okay, sorry guys, there was a call. So what I was explaining, APK. Okay, so I was explaining the code obfuscation, right? So yeah, so basically, if I have obfuscated this code, okay, then only I could unobfuscate. Okay, so for example, I'm the developer, I'm having the access. I was the one who obfuscated with the help of a tool, right? So I have access to that tool, so I could unobfuscate that. Am I clear, guys? So this is what code obfuscation is. Okay, so let us move. Okay, so I have shown you how to see code obfuscation. If we are able to see this code, so this is not having code obfuscation. This is a low level vulnerability, right? So if it is having, if it is not showing this code like this, and if it is showing in non-human readable format, so that is basically code obfuscation, right? So this is a vulnerability, a low level vulnerability, right? Code obfuscation. Don't worry for this. I will be giving you a report also. So the next thing is basically the very important thing is source. Yeah, Deepak, go ahead. Open your mic. Deepak.
So, as I asked you earlier in the chat, is it the same if we use Gidra or IDA for reverse engineering?
Yeah, Deepak, we could not basically reverse this code obfuscation method. Even if you will, what will happen? Few things will not work properly, right? So there is no way to reverse this. Okay. Yeah, if we could try, what will happen? It will happen in few scenario. What we could say, if you are very good, if you are very good at that, it could happen. But yeah, it will not run properly. Okay. There
Okay,
is
okay,
no
thank you.
unobfuscate. If you are a developer, then only you could unobfuscate it. Okay. Now the next thing is basically source code analysis. Any doubt, guys, in previous topics? Let me know. Guys, any doubt? Okay. Source code analysis. Now, when we are talking about source code analysis, this is basically manual. So when we are talking about testing Android application, we are having two things. First is SAST, then the second thing is DAST. Okay, can anyone tell me the full form of SAST and DAST? Anyone?
So static analysis or dynamic analysis.
Okay, so yeah, it stands for dynamic analysis. Okay, and this one stands for static. Can anyone explain me what is the difference between static and dynamic?
So then basically static analysis we don't run the code, and in dynamic analysis we run the code in a controlled environment to understand the behavior of application.
Okay, correct. So in static analysis, what we do, we basically analyze the code for vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Okay. So in static analysis, what we are doing, we are simply analyzing the code. Okay. We are only seeing the code. We are finding vulnerabilities only in the code. Okay. So what is dynamic analysis now? In dynamic analysis, we are basically testing for vulnerability at the runtime. So when we are running that application, at that time we are finding vulnerability. So basically, we could say this are the issues which are found during the runtime. Okay, runtime of the application. For example, if we are using an application and we are finding IDOR with the help of burp suit, right? So we are doing this at the runtime. At that time, the application is running, right? So that is known as dynamic analysis. Whereas static analysis is basically where we are just seeing the source code. So basically, if you know Java or Kotlin for Android application, you could simply analyze the code. Okay, you could use JDGI and you could analyze this code. You could manually go and you could analyze the code if you know Java or you know Kotlin. So you could analyze this and you could find vulnerabilities if you know how the code flow is working, how the code is working. You could find vulnerabilities, right? So this is what static is. Now for static analysis, what we could do for static analysis, we have two things. First thing is basically we could do static analysis with the help of tools, automated way. The first thing is obviously the manual thing. Okay, we could simply do the manual thing, which is the first thing we could see is basically we could see the source code. Okay, we could see the source code. We could understand the flow of code. Okay, the second thing what we could do in manual, we could find for hard-coded information. We could search for hard-coded information if that application is storing any APIs, anything, right? So we could find this hard-coded information. So for manual static analysis, what we could do, manual static analysis, we could simply see the source code, okay, with the help of Dex2Jar, okay, Dex2Jar or JDGUI, okay. So we could use this to see the source code or the code flow, or you could use APK tool also to decompile the application and to see the folders. Okay, so this is the manual thing. Okay, the second thing, which is automated static analysis. Okay, or we could say with the help of few tools. Now in automated static analysis, what we are doing is basically we could use a tool known as MobSF. So with the help of this tool, we could do static analysis of any application. We simply have to upload that application, and then that tool MobSF will take few minutes, or it depends on the application. Okay, and it will give a full report. So the first thing is basically that we could see the manual analysis. In manual analysis, what we will do, we will see the source code with the help of Dex2Jar or JDGUI. Then we will be seeing the APK tool. Okay, we'll be seeing how to decompile it. Then we'll be going to the folders. We will be seeing everything manually, right? So we'll be seeing the Android manifest file. Everything will be doing in this manual thing. Okay, we'll be seeing for the permissions, backup, all the things that I have told you, right? The backup one, the 5 things that I have told you to focus on. All the things we have to focus on, we have to see. Then we have to see the flow of code. But whereas in this automated static analysis, what we do, we use this MovSF tool. It is very easy to use this tool. This is a tool which is used for doing static as well as dynamic it is used for both static as well as dynamic analysis of application. Okay, so if you want to do static as well as dynamic analysis, you could use this MovSF. So how we could use this for static analysis, I will be telling you that, guys. Okay, so we'll be using MovSF for static analysis. The manual part I have told you how we could do. Simply, if you know Java, you could analyze this. If you don't know Java, so that's a thing that you have to work on. The second thing that you have to do is simply you have to go to the folder where you have decompiled the application. For example, let me go to my folder, and so for example, I have decompiled this application, right? I have decompiled this CV. So what I have to check every single folder. For example, this resources folder. So what we have to do, we have to go to this resources, we have to go to values, then we have to go to this string folder. Now let me just copy this. So this is one of the paths where you could find this hard-coded information. So this file, okay, which is string.xml. The file name is string.xml. This file is having a lot of times what will happen, this file string will have a lot of hard-coded information. So in this scenario, what we could see, we could simply type API key. So you could see this is not having an API key. Let me show you a real application which is having an API key, okay, or any other information. So let me just tell you the application is okay. So for example, Practo. Many of you know what Practo is, right? Can anyone tell me what Practo is? Guys, what is Practo? Practo application?
Actually, it's an online pharmacy type thing for
Yeah.
medical consultancy.
Okay, correct. So basically, this was an application which was having few hard-coded information. So what we have to do, so what every time when you are doing this hard-coded thing, what you have to do, you have to check this string file. Okay, you have to check this string file. Okay, which is in this specific path, which is first of all decompile the application, then go to this resources folder, then you have to search for this value folder, only the values, nothing else. This values only. Okay, go to this values, then you will be having this strings. Okay, this strings xml file. Okay, so it is not string, it is strings. Okay, so strings. Okay, so strings.xml. Now what you have to do, we have to analyze this file. Okay, we have to check manually one by one. Okay, so let us see for API, if we are having any API. You could see we are having Firebase API key, right? It is leaking Firebase API key. Now with the help of this key hack, you could exploit it, right? You could simply exploit that API key and you could make a report. So this is how we could find hard-coded information. Now, a few times there could be anything, a password, a username, a email ID, anything, any information that you could use that is inside this specific thing. Now, all the things that we were doing manually, every single thing, source code, Dex to jar, okay, or even the Android manifest, this hard-coded thing, this mobile app will do everything automatically. So you just have to upload an application, you have to upload app, and it will do everything. It will do everything. Okay, guys. So we only have to do one thing. Okay, we only have to do one thing, which is we have to upload that application. Okay, and everything will be now mobile Mobisef will be doing everything. So let us see how we could use this mobile SF. So previously, the basically when we want to download this mobile SF, the process of downloading it was very hectic. Now it is very easy. We only have to use Docker. So if you are using your Kali, or even if you are using your Windows, you could simply use this MoveSF, but I will suggest you to use in Kali. So what you have to do, simply first of all you have to open your Kali. Okay, so what you have to do, go to your Kali, okay, VM, then open your Kali. Okay, hello. uh, okay, so let me open my Kali. Okay, so what you have to do, simply you have to use this command which I have told you, which is docker pull and the whole thing. Okay, you just have to copy this. Okay, you have to copy this, and then you simply have to go to your Kali and you have to press enter. Now in my case, I'm already having this. Okay, so we have to use sudo. Okay, then press enter. Now in my scenario, I'm already having this. Okay, but in your case, you will be not having this. Even you will be not having Docker in few scenarios. So you have to install Docker. Then you have to use this MobileServe. Okay, I think I'm also not having this MobileServe. Okay, so let us wait. So it will take time. Till that time, guys, you could take a break for 5 minutes. Okay, you could drink coffee and then you could come back. Okay, I'm giving a 5 minute break, so everyone have to come back at 8:10. Okay, so come back at 8:10. Okay, go take a break, drink water, coffee, tea, anything. Come back at 8:10. We have to wait for the installation. Okay, it will take time. Okay, it's dinner time. That's great. For me, it's my coffee time. Okay, so I will be back in 5 minutes, guys. Take your time. Okay. Okay, so I'm back, guys. So let us see. Let me share my screen. Okay. So now you can see I have successfully installed. I have downloaded this mobile app. Now what I have to do, I have to run it. So for that, I have to use this command. Okay, copy this, type sudo, and then paste it, run it. Now we have to wait for a few seconds. Now you can see it is saying listening at 000. But what we have to do, we have to open our Firefox. Okay. After opening Firefox, we simply have to type this. Okay. You have to type your local IP. I'm giving this in the notes. So you could see this. We have to type 127.0.0.1 and then 8000 port number. Press enter. So we'll be seeing the UI of our MobSF tool. Okay, so this is the UI. Now what we have to do, we simply have to upload the app which we want to do, which we want to perform the manual analysis. Sorry, for which we want to do the static analysis. So for example, I want to do static analysis for the CV app. So simply I have to upload this. Now it will take few seconds. Okay, it depends. If the application is very big, for example, if I will upload the Practo application, it will take 10 to 20 minutes. But in case of our CV, it will take few minutes only or even seconds. It depends. So let us wait. So now as if you could see, it has given us this. Okay. Now we are having a lot of things. We are having first of all the file name, which is CV. Then we are having the size. Then we are having the MD5. Okay. Then we are having the package name of the application that we could get from the manifest file also. Right. Now you could see we are having active days, services, receivers. Everything is there. Right. We could even see the Android manifest file if you want to see. You could simply click on view Android manifest. You could even see the Java source code. Okay, and you could download it also if you want. So we could see the Android manifest. Okay, if you could see, we are able to see this Android manifest. Even we are able to see the source code, right? We are even able to see the source code. So this is what we could do with our MobSF. We could do static analysis also, automated static analysis, right? We're able to see the source code. So this is what we could do. Okay, we could see the source code also. Now you could see it is signed with V1 certificate, and I have told you that this V1 is having a vulnerability name as JNS. Okay, JNS vulnerability is there in this V1 signature. Okay, this is the V1 certificate signing method which is used. Okay, we have to use V3 or V2. So these are the details. Now if you will come down, you could see the permissions. I have told you that external storage are not good. Okay, they are vulnerabilities. So yeah, you could see these are the things. It is telling us this is dangerous, right? So it is doing everything by itself. We don't have to do anything. Even it is telling Android APIs. Okay, we could see some specific files. Okay, now network security is not there. Certificate analysis, you could see it is telling that the certificate V1 certificate is having a vulnerability. Okay, which is JNS vulnerability. It is also telling us that debug certificate production application. Okay, so this is also about the certificate. So you could see, guys, we are having a lot of things about the certificate, right? Because we are using the V1. Okay, Satya, are you having any doubt? Satya? Okay, so you could see we are having about the certificate also that you could do manually also. Now manifest analysis, it is doing the manifest analysis for us. So you could see we are getting this Android debug true, which is high, right? This Android backup true, which is also that we have seen manually also. So all the things which we could do manually, this tool is doing automatically. So we do not have to check everything manually, right? So this is what MobSF tool is. This is one of the best tools that you could use. Even you could download a PDF report if you want. You could download the PDF form for this specific thing. Okay, so now you could see this is the PDF format for this CV application. Okay, everything is like a report. Now you could see you could send this to your client. Okay, before it you have to do a manual testing also. So this is how we could use MobSF. Okay, so today we have seen what MobSF is, and also we have completed the static analysis part. From tomorrow we'll be starting the main thing, which is dynamic part, and we'll be seeing how to find vulnerabilities. So today we have completed till module 9. Tomorrow we'll be completing this Android debug practical and backup practical. Then we'll be starting module 10. Okay, so this was all for today, guys. If you are having a doubt, let me know. Yes, Manav. Let me turn on the mic. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, can we brute force the obfuscation? Can we brute force it?
No. You could try, but yeah, it will not work. Code obfuscation is not something that you could brute force.
Sir,
Okay.
MobSF is very lagging, sir, in my virtual machine.
What is lagging?
MobSF tool, sir.
Oh yeah, because you have given like what is your system specs? If that is low, that is the reason.
Oh, no, sir. I am
No problem. Install in Windows. Simply install Docker. You could find a lot of videos how to install Docker. Then you could install this MobSF in your Windows also. You could find a lot of videos on YouTube. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead, Sahil.
sir, my connection is not great in that. Like, I open the API, and
Okay.
after that, I open the machine. They are not connecting.
Okay, no problem. So I will talk with Sam and I will schedule a session. So everyone who is facing this problem, they are not able to connect ADB with the app with Android device. They could message Sam and he will schedule a session with me for you guys. Okay, so don't worry for that. Okay. Anything else? Anyone, guys?
Sir, if you are using the APK editor or APK editor Pro in for the manifestation tool, so is it okay?
I have not used that, Rajiv, so I have no idea.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
this mod SF will do all the things that we did from the past 3 days, right?
Yeah, basically, MobSF will do static analysis. All the things that I have told you right now, these things, right? The source code analysis, the manifest thing, right? How we analyze the Android manifest, how we find the sensitive information, all the things this MobSF is doing automatically. So when we are doing, so basically in pen testing, in Android pen testing or any pen testing, we have two things: dynamic testing and static testing, or dynamic analysis or static analysis, right? So in static,
Yes.
we see the code only. We try to find everything with related to the code. Okay, so we do everything manually. We try to see the source code. We try to see the manifest file in Android. Okay, so this is the things that we are doing manually. Now this all things that I have written, which we are doing manually, we could do with the help of this MobSF also. Not this only. MobSF will do a lot of things which we could not even do in manually, right? It will, we could do that in manually also, yeah, but it will take time. So MobSF is very good tool for static analysis. But before sending the report to your client, do a manual testing of the result that you have got from MobSF.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sir, is code obfuscation common these days?
Yeah, it is very common. Every device is not having code obfuscation. If you will go to Play Store, if you will download 10 applications, 8 of them are having, they are not having code obfuscation. Okay, so not every application is having code obfuscation. Out of 10 devices, only 8 devices are, out of 10 devices, 8 devices are not having code obfuscation. Only 2 of them are having code obfuscation. So yeah. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be starting dynamic analysis from tomorrow, which is very important. We'll be seeing all the things in that only. We'll be seeing what browser is, how to set up Bob suite, okay, in our Android device. So we'll be seeing from tomorrow. Okay, session timing will be same 7. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be seeing this all things.
Sir, one last question.
Go ahead.
Sir, how to static analysis the application which are code obfuscated? Because we can't understand the code, so how?
So there is no way to do static analysis if that application is having code obfuscation. Okay, you could see the normal resources file, but yeah, you could not see the source code. For that, you should be working in that company. For example, if you are testing an application Amazon, so you should be working in Amazon to have access of that obfuscated code. Okay, there is no other way. But not every application is code obfuscated. I have told you, right? Out of 10
Yes.
devices, only 2 of them are obfuscated. Not every device, every application is obfuscated. Like I have tested more than 500 applications till now, and I have only seen 1 or 2 application, only one I think, which is using code obfuscation. Okay, so that is the thing. Most of the developer even don't know what code obfuscation is. That is the thing.
Dynamic analysis and dynamic testing can be done on that, right?
Yeah, we will be doing dynamic analysis tomorrow. Okay, we'll be starting with dynamic analysis. We'll be seeing what browser, what Bubsuit is, how to set up them. And
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you share any reports in Android application? Android
yeah, I will be, don't worry. I will be, okay, in module 14, we'll be talking about that only, don't worry. Okay, wait, we will be talking about.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys, so I think that's all. Anyone, if you are having a question, let me know, or else I will be ending the session. Guys, how was the session? Let me know. Actually, I am traveling, so yeah.
Fantastic.
Great, sir.
Fantastic.
Okay. So, guys, that's all for today. We will connect tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. And those who are having problem while connecting your appy with your Android device, just message Sam. Okay, he will schedule a session with me. Okay, that's all. Okay.
Sir, app it's mandatory or not?
No, not mandatory. Basically, with the help of appy, we could save a lot of time. I have like told in previous session also, just go through that recording. Okay, so in recording, I have told you that, for example, we are installing APK tool manually, right, in Windows. But in our appy, it is already having that. Okay, it is already having that tools that we will be using. So, for example, if you are using Windows for pen testing, okay. So in Windows, what you have to do, if you are using Windows for network pen testing, we have to install every tool, right? We have to install every tool. But if we are using Kali for network pen testing, we don't have to install any tool, right? So that is the thing. So appy is basically a thing which is a specific environment which is used for testing only. Okay. Am I clear?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Rajiv.
I have connected with appy to the Android device, but when I'm trying to install the OWASP app in Android device, it was showing an error that no certificate.
Yeah, sorry. I have shared the application which is not having certificate. Don't worry, I will be sharing the new one. And another thing, if it is not installing, you could simply drag and drop that application. Simply what you have to do, drag and drop that application in your Android device,
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So you'll